Hello everyone, and welcome to the Deep Blue Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deep Blue Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 141. Today is Saturday, July 16th, and I'm glad you could join me today. It is still really hot, so I'm hiding, but with hot coffee. It's 86 up here. It's really toasty. Unfortunately, it's even hotter outside, so options. So, excuse me, hopefully the fan's not too loud. But I had a super duper quiet morning, which meant, well, there was hardly any morning at all. It's been a super duper quiet afternoon of just finishing. So, it was beautiful. Obviously some things are still left to be finished, but details. So what I did finally finish, and no, I'm not putting it on because, as I said, it's 86 up here, is the handspun multi-tighter. So, now with whatever, the little toggle straps and toggles and all that other fun stuff. I do have to weave in some ends, but I'm calling it complete. All of the things are attached. It's just some cleanup stuff. And this was a stupid amount of yardage or meterage for stash dash. So I ended up counting up what I had left over. So I have 109 yards left over and about 3 ounces left of this yarn, which I have no clue what I'm going to do with it, but I have it. It's quantified, which means that it was 1,414 yards that went into the sweater, which was 1,200 something meters for the stash dash. So, yay! And that was my trick and my intention, because I finished the sweater after it had gotten warm again. So I started it in mid-December, but that was too late. So it is done. Probably, there's still a little bit of finishing to do, and it can wait a while, but it's definitely very big and very warm. I had to keep putting it on to figure out where the buttons were going on it, but it is good now. And then I wove in the ends on my Pemua. I wove in my ends on my Crescent Citron. So I got FO photos, you probably saw them on Instagram, and then posted them in all of their respective groups. So for the Wool Myself for All season shawl, I needed to pick my top 3 dream colorways to receive as a prize if my one is randomly selected as the winner. So I picked Pfaffinage, which PH, I don't know, something. It's German for peacock, Dora, and Ein Klein Verrückt, because that's gorgeous. It's a dark blue, purple, variegated one, and Pfaffinage is like pink, teal, green, blue, and Dora is just a good solid blue. Oh wait, I have a Dora FO, so Dora is this blue here. So really a good, very workable blue. So I didn't get any Dora for myself, so I want to fix that. And then my Citron counted for one of the, if you knit up your handspun, and it's a part of a group spin-along, which the Citron was, it was through Water Farms in the Mirror Lake colorway, then you're eligible for prizes in the group. And I think this is the first time I actually, well, no, it's the second time I knit up a skein from a spin-along from that group. So that counted as well. And then, what was it? And then all 3 of the finished objects counted for stash dash. So I'm now up to 3,670 meters, which means that it's definitely doable for making it to 5K. And really, 5K was like the original one, so I don't have time for more than that. So definitely looking positive on that front. Now what I'm working on is my Hitafude. So it is now actually long enough for me. And at this point I'm just knitting until the yarn is gone. So I did do a variation where I have the all over pattern and it increases all over as well, as opposed to being flat on the back and then increasing on the sides. So I just finished an 18 stitch version, so I started with 12 stitch repeats and I'm now up to 18 stitches per repeat, same number of repeats. And it is coming along nicely. I'm probably actually unfortunately going to have to de-pill a little bit on this guy. It's been a little bit more cumbersome to carry around. It was actually dragging on the ground and got sort of messy looking, which is really sad. But it's sort of the back of the arm, so hopefully it's not the end of the world. But it is coming along nicely. It got a lot of love the past 2 weeks. I was somewhere in the purple somewhere when I think I talked to you guys last. So I was trying to do, when I was in the 16 stitch repeats, do a repeat every day, and then I would switch projects. And this worked fairly well when I had, but then as the repeats started to get longer in rows and wider in stitches, it just wasn't really happening anymore. So I was trying to keep up with that progress and actually caught up to how many repeats I wanted to do for the week, and then did the 1 repeat per day. But I don't think I can sustain long term. But I'm back into the teal, which means it's not too much longer before it's over. So right now I'm sort of in a teal and blue section, which I'm not sure whether or not that's coming out properly on the camera. Excuse me, I'll go into an all teal section and then I think a rather small section of dark green. So it is moving along nicely. It has been my primary carry around project, though at this point it might be a little bit awkward for the carrying around stage. And I will put it on, but it's 86. It does look really cute though. I probably need to take another picture showing off how cute it looks, because it is really cute. So moving along slowly but surely. I was doing pretty good on the 1 repeat a day, but I think that's only sustainable on days when I'm not working, which is too bad. I did start something. I don't remember whether or not I'd started it before, what is it, or if I was just talking about it. Maybe I was just talking about it. I don't know. But I did start the Color Affection. This is a Vera Valimaki pattern. And I did manage to get into the stripey section. Yay, stripies. So, this is, what will this be? So, I realized, I don't know whether or not, I must have mentioned this, because I realized that I wasn't doing the increases as written in the pattern. I'm now doing once I got to the stripey section, I started to do the increases as written in the pattern, because it was easier to keep track. When you're just in a vast field of garter, it's much harder to read your knitting in that way. So now doing increases as written, coming along. Yeah, because last week, or 2 weeks ago, I made a stand against whatever. Asymmetrical. This is an asymmetric shawl. So there is no line of symmetry. So it's coming along. I haven't worked on it since getting back from my trip, but such is life. So it definitely is, or the striping is rather bold with the variegated yarn, but in some ways it also sort of breaks it up as well. I definitely like the striping better on this side than on this side. So this one, everything is a great deal more mixed up. On this side, you have more of your stripe garter row action going on, and that's just the nature of garter. So we'll see how it goes. So I think I'm gonna do the number of stripes for the lace size pattern, and then I will begin incorporating in this guy here. So this one is a very dark, like blacks and then dark purple, as opposed to my just medium purple, as opposed to my skein, which has mostly blacks with some darker purples in it. It really isn't showing up very much with the end I took, the purple bits, but there definitely is purple in the skein. It's just maybe it just doesn't look very purple in comparison to the other purple that is next to, but such is life. So it's coming along. I'll probably end up working on it tonight because I'm going to be, what is it? I am going to a musical, and this will be a good in the dark project to work on. So, and that's mostly what it's intended for, is to be something simple. So, in terms of spinning, I did manage to, finish spinning the singles for my silk. And I brought some other spinning with me on my trip so that I could do a little bit every day. So this is my KCL Woodworks Super Combo Spindle, and I am spinning some Spunky Eclectic. So I just have about an ounce of it, so I'm just working on spinning this guy up to turn it into a 3-ply, because that was the sample I liked the best. So I think this is a cordial. I'm not sure. It's not, what is it? It's not Merino Soft. It has been fun to spin. I try spinning it over carpet just because of the fact that I do want to keep this spindle looking nice, so it wasn't too bad. Not sure now that I'm home whether or not I'm going to continue spinning on it. Not sure. So, or if this will end up getting packed with me. I haven't decided yet. So, the silk, I have about 2 ounces left to ply. So this was my first one, which was, probably more variegated, and then this guy here is a bunch of cool tones. And even though the sizes of the balls are actually pretty different, the weight of the yarn is actually pretty similar. It took a very, very long time to wind this ball. And when I'm looking at the yarn that I am making, oh wait, we're not even rotated correctly for this. Oh, sorry guys. Here we go. But the yarn that I am making is demented thin. So, like cobweb, it's really, really thin. So it's coming together is like very variegated. I'm sort of getting the repeat of colors that I was expecting with this. So, so very, very bright, very, very cheerful, but that was sort of the way I wanted it to be. And then fairly, a fairly long distance in between color changes. So, extremely fine. So I've been debating, like, because that 3 ounces of silk might actually put me over for 5K for Stash Dash, but it's taking hours and hours and hours and hours to apply, and I'm only 1/3 of the way done with applying. So I don't know whether or not I want to apply it back on itself or something crazy like that so that it's like a workable weight. Or whether or not I can just deal with the fact that it is extremely fine. would that be? Let's see if we can get you guys a decent scale or a sense of scale here. So, just pull some off the bottom. If I could actually get this to go onto my dime, that would be helpful. So, so this is how fine we're talking about. Very, 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 very fine. There we go. So, yep, you see that? You see that? Oh dear. So that's why it took so long to spin those singles, because I was spinning them really stupid fine. I don't know. So that's been a better in the dark while watching a movie sort of project, just because you're sort of like, I need to get time on applying it, because it's just going to take time to get through it all. So far so good. I've been working on it. It's making it seem like the odds are poor for me starting something new for Tour de Fleece, because this might take up most of my Tour de Fleece, honestly. So not sure about what's going on there or not, but I would, like, I need to finish it. It's on the wheel now. Everything else that I'd like to spin right now is on the wheel, so I just need to flesh it out. And since it doesn't look very good for me being able to finish a skein of the nest, I'll probably just throw the fiber optic on it next and get those singles done, because that was another one of those stash dash planning sorts of things, was to get some of these big fine spinning projects off the wheel. So we shall see. But speaking about nest, brief foray into stash positions. I did rejoin the Nest Club, and this is the July colorway. It's called Fairy Tale. So it has some really gorgeous, like, this like tealy blue, some deep purples, some light purples, and then like this sort of pinky color as well. So it's on Falkland, so got a little bit more Falkland to spin. But really gorgeous. I'm really excited about this, so very cool. And then the other thing was I ended up visiting my local yarn shop from from Indiana, because I was in town last weekend, and I ended up picking up a skein of Heritage Wave. So this is sort of like trekking or handspun in terms of how the colors go. So it's the case where it is greens and teals and blues, and then sort of long changing color. And what I was thinking of was that it went with this skein here. So this is also Heritage as well, so to make some sort of stripy shawl thing or stripy socks, who knows? It could be pretty either way. But this one is, so this is the Made in Peru Heritage, and this is the Made in China Heritage, so mileage may vary, but what it be. I am excited about it, but I figured that since those were a good match, that they were probably meant to be. You know how it is. And I really, what was it? At least for my Made in Peru Heritage socks, really loved how they wore and all that other stuff. So this one was also very reasonably priced as well, so super duper excited. And what would it be? So that was the other stash, whatever. So those are the stash positions for this week. And I think that was everything I wanted to talk about, so looking like the odds are good for fiber optic also getting a pass at getting finished. Just a matter of like focusing on stuff because there's only so much time to do things. Will I start anything new? I'm not sure, because I will be off for I think 11 days. And it's quite possible that I will, what is it? I'm not done talking about stash positions, actually. There's one more stash position that I need to show you guys. So, focus. So, I ended up, this is probably the last bit of, what is it? The last bit of the DFW FiberFest enabling, so I got a chance to try out Signature's size 0 double points, and I decided to spring for a set. So they, so super duper pointy tips, good solid heft. I found it interesting that they could not at all do their needles in anodized aluminum. I don't know why that is, but these are very solid, whatever, tools. So, very cool. So I'm glad that I can support a US needle manufacturer, and I do love me some size zeros. So, perhaps, well, I don't know, these might be a little bit too precious to bring along with me on a trip. I'm probably going to start something on, I might start a pair of socks on one of my itty bitty circulars to take with me for mindless knitting, or if I feel insecure about how much knitting I'm bringing with me. I know, what I have seems to be a lot, but a pair of socks would just be for peace of mind, I think. Because this guy isn't too far along, so it shouldn't be too crazy, I don't think. It's not like, there's still a lot of knitting that needs to be done on this shawl, but I might need something else as well, I'm sure. So, and there's just all sorts of pretty stuff floating around here, so it's not like I'm gonna have a hard time deciding. Maybe, what is it? So one of the knit-alongs going along, which might be fun to participate in, is the Scrappy Happy Cow. So the Stockinette Zombies are hosting that one, so maybe a pair of Scrappy socks would be in order. And maybe do like a variation on Cranberry Biscotti. So they require that you have 5 colors, so something like Cranberry Biscotti might be a good choice, and that's like a three row per color sort of thing, I think, or something like that. It is a free pattern. I really like it. The last time I made it, I didn't follow it entirely. But I think it looks really cute and just like eats up the variegated yarn, so that's why I'm thinking that way. But we shall see. That might be more things that I want to keep track of too, I'm sure. But a little teeny sick. So we shall see how things go. Obviously, I haven't been knitting as many socks yet, or not too many socks this year, but such is life. Oh, the cranberry biscotti would also work for the, so in Sock Knitters, we're hosting a cal for re-knitting patterns you've made before, so put your best foot forward or something, I think that's what it's called. So that is one that I already made before and was like multitasking. And then in order for it to count for stash dash, I'll need to weigh my balls before and after, because that's just good practice. So we shall see. Because I would like to use up scraps. This is, I think, just, I don't know, this is actually fairly, big group of, I think these are all of my, like I have a bag of a bigger thing of scraps, and that's a smaller thing of scraps, I think. If I remember correctly. But I can't find my, like I have a big bag of scraps and a small bag of scraps. I swear. So, I'll figure something out. They're all really cool yarn, so it's hard to go wrong with something like that. So, what I'm thinking of doing is recording midweek while I am in Germany, because then that'll sort of smooth out any interruptions in the podcast. I'm not sure how I'm going to work, I'm not sure how I'm going to work the one after that. I think actually I will be in town, so it'll be okay. Maybe. I'm probably not going to record the podcast when I'm when I'm in Mexico, so. And this is just a matter of private time versus not private time, so I'll be with my sisters and mom and my niece in Mexico, and I'm sure there's just be nonstop activity associated with that, whereas in Germany I'm going to have a couple of days where the entire day is open for whatever I decide to do. So I think that'll be the best plan, and I'll have lots of time to knit and explore and that sort of thing. So I'm looking forward to that. The odds of visiting the Woolmeister store, pretty low. It's far enough away that and only open. So if the Woolmeister store had been open in the middle of the week, it would have been feasible for me to go there, hang out for a couple of hours, and drive back. But it's only open on the weekends, so Fridays and Saturdays, and that's when my husband is also off from his work. So he isn't up for, what is it, driving nearly 4 hours to somewhere when you can order it so stinking cheap. What is it, here, and get it shipped cheaper than Indie Tide Yarn in the United States. So would it be nice to visit the store at some point? Yeah. Will I have to plan a better trip around it? Probably. So, that is the story there. So, because the first day will be in Germany, I think. It will be Saturday morning. And I don't think we're going to be safe to drive then. And then the last and then we're leaving on the Monday, so. Oh well. So, probably not this time. I'm sort of tempted actually, so I owe someone a prize yarn, and it might actually be easier to mail it while I'm in Germany, because she is from Germany, so I'll need to dig up that PM and get things ready for that little package of lovely, because it's been months. And mostly it's just because it's a pain. Like, in Indiana, the post office was open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., so I could drop by after work and mail something, but for some reason in the DFW area, they're only open 9 to 5, and then for like a small time, whatever, like before noon on Saturdays, that sort of thing. And I often don't enjoy being awake before noon on Saturdays, so it means there are very limited opportunities to mail things, and you have to do it in person if you're mailing it out of the country. So that activation energy is way too stinking high, so I'll just fly with the yarn and go to the post office. We'll see how that goes. I think that'll be slightly easier. I don't know why, but it'll be a little amusing to put my American address on the return, and whatever. We'll figure something out. And with that, the coffee is all gone, so let me check the calendar so I can give you a date. So I think I am going to record on the 27th of July, and then we'll see whether or not I can pick up August 5th or not. I'm not sure. Maybe it could even be a special episode recorded at Knitting Group, who knows. It is related, but we'll see how I feel about that, because it is, what is it? I ended up missing Knitting Group this week, so less sad. Not as much knitting done. So should be whatever. It should work. So I'll be recording again on the 27th, and I hope you guys all have a lovely week. So take care, guys. Bye-bye.